And with the stick, I can play with moving around the stick. There's two ways. I can either control the stick with one hand and treat the rest of it as if it were something I didn't want to touch, like a blade, for example. And I can challenge myself to simply move under it. To a certain extent, I am guiding it with my other hand, of course, but I allow my body just to move, and I explore all the ways that I can move under that stick. So the stick is always in orbit around me, and I'm always moving. I can change my grip. That's a really good basic way of starting to explore ground motion. The second way I can do the motion is to start to use my body as a frame. So in very much the same way that we arm screwed on the ground, I can look at thinking of arm screwing the stick as it comes in. So I'll always control it with one hand, but with the other hand I will guide it. And I'll prioritize, whenever possible, the outside of my forearm. I don't want to reach with my second hand, but rather I want to functionalize that flinch and use the more durable outer forearm. I want to bypass that desire to grasp, and I want to give the sort of share it on both of the bones, protecting the veins, protecting the tendons on the inside. And that screwing motion also can help me pass it around my body. And in exactly the same way, I prioritize the outside of my legs. So I try to avoid the veins and connective tissue on the inside, and I use the more durable outside of the shin and outside of the thigh, keeping it away from the groin. So now I can move around it without touching, or I can start to guide it, seeing how we can pass it. There's no wrong way to do this motion. We really just want to explore all the ways that we can pass it from one foot to the other, even from one hand to the other. And this is a really simple exercise, but it will force you to get away from the so-called, textbook purity of the actions, and really just to start moving your body as one integrated unit. Again, try to avoid inviting it on the inside. Try to avoid inviting it inside the arms. Try to always be almost like an umbrella. The water just runs off the bottom. It's also very good for spatial mapping because I can keep track of that stick as long as possible behind my body. And if I have my leg, I can track it as long as possible. Although in this case, I'm the one holding it, so I know where it is. It helps train that reflex to break away from your opponent without losing contact fully. And your kinesthetic awareness, your physical touch, will help you greatly improve your understanding of space and of movement, particularly when there's multiple attackers and you're moving at higher speeds. So a super simple exercise, but a very mindful meditative exercise as well. And it's a great one for those of you that have to work alone. You can, I like to progress sometimes to heavier sticks or using like weighted tubes as well, wave tubes. Those are fantastic. PVC pipe filled with cement or with gravel or sand is also really, really good. And a nice way to soften up your body, increase an understanding of the edges, the contour of your shape, and to just make you move naturally.